In this video, I will be talking about a new cannabis company, Weedmaps, that just entered the stock market and what it has to do with the Planet 13. I will talk about why this new company is the best cannabis stock and why it could easily outperform Planet 13. This company is not like the others. I will tell you what this company does, its business model, and we will review every important information from the investor presentation. It is a new company and very under radar at this moment. There are barely few videos out and no articles, so you can take advantage of that. Hi, this is Money Mike. On this channel, we talk mostly about high growth stocks, and this is a very important video for anyone holding Planet 13 stock or consider buying any cannabis stock. I won't let you wait till the end of the video. Let's just jump right into why Weedmaps is superior investment to Planet 13. Keep in mind that Weedmaps just announced entering the stock market through the merger with the ticker SSPK. What you might already know is that Planet 13 is a cannabis dispensary in Las Vegas. Well, Weedmaps is the marketplace for dispensaries like Planet 13. So basically you can find a profile of Planet 13 here on Weedmaps, and Planet 13 is actually paying for that profile just to be there. For now, only one thing you have to understand is that Weedmaps is by far the largest cannabis marketplace on the internet. We will talk about their competitors later. And now focus on this. This is the map of Las Vegas on Weedmaps and its cannabis dispensaries. Here on the map, we can find Planet 13. It has a good amount of reviews, around 3,000 reviews, and average 4.5 stars. But there is not the only one thing we see on the map. We see many other companies. Let's take a look at the company right across the street. It also has 4.5 stars and 2.5 thousand reviews. I could click around this map and get very similar numbers everywhere I look. And there are about 20 other companies that have better rating or even more of them. Look right here. This is probably the best rated dispensary in Las Vegas. Pesos. 20,000 reviews with average 4.9 stars. All I want to say is that the competition is so overwhelming. And to prove the objectivity, I used Google Map reviews just to confirm similar numbers on amount of reviews. And there is a reason why, because Weedmaps was accused of fake reviews a few years back, but that should be solved now. So Planet 13 is not the most used dispensary in Las Vegas. In fact, they have so many local competitors. Planet 13 must be brilliant in every aspect of their business to pull through this huge competition. Now, what this has to do with Weedmaps. By the way, I will go through Weedmaps and their investor presentation. I just want to give the best information up front so you don't have to wait. If you look at competition of Weedmaps, here's the list. We are not talking just about Las Vegas. Weedmaps is international, so they serve the whole USA, Canada, plus potentially the whole world. From what I went through, I think Leafly is the closest and most direct competitor to Weedmaps. Other than that, there's really not that much. So there you have it. Planet 13 has more than 20 serious local competitors without even expanding. And Weedmaps has one serious competitor. That's my point. Here is why it is so important to look at it this way. As an investor, you have to be always one step ahead, at least one. Just think about it. What is more superior business model? Is it the local store or is it the online marketplace? I think it is online marketplace. Why? Because it is diversified better than the local stores considering the competition. So if you want to bet on cannabis stock, I really think this is the smarter play. Weedmaps will benefit from more dispensaries entering the stock market. Planet 13 will not. There is a little chance that the new marketplace will be created in this category, but they have been building it over last 11 years, and there are always one or few dominant marketplaces. The bigger, the better. Think of Etsy, Amazon, AliExpress, Spotify, Upwork, and others. Now, if you are thinking, should I buy Weedmaps stock? Does it have potential? Is it a good time to buy? Or should I wait? Then this part of the video is for you. Let's head straight to the investor presentation. I will just go through the important parts. You can check the whole presentation by yourself. I guess I will link the presentation in the description. Remember, this is a SPAC stock under ticker SSPK. Right now for $13 a share. Let's go right into that. So here is something about their growth and key metrics. So they have a 12-year operating history, 400 employees, 9 countries in which Weedmaps listing pages. Then we have 18,000 business listings on Weedmaps marketplace. We can also see on the right graph that they actually have 4x their revenues in last 5 years and 3x their EBITDA in last 5 years, from 13 million to 35 million. So they claim that they have 10 million monthly active users, 8-minute average user session length, and that is quite substantial compared to other eShops. 60 million in monthly user funnel generate engagements. Who knows what these engagements are? And around 70% of Weedmaps users consume daily. I guess they want to say they consume cannabis. So they have these 18,000 business listings, and from that they have 4,000 plus clients which are on monthly subscription bundle. What they claim is that they have 55% share of total retail licenses. So every cannabis store or seller needs to have a license, and they claim that they have probably 55% of the whole market. And also their average revenue per client is $3,000 per month. Now, Weedmaps has products that together create so-called business in a box solution for any licensed seller of cannabis goods. This is what they do. They don't charge users, they charge licensed partners and businesses. This is what we were talking about these 4,000 businesses. And with this stock, then we have the growth potential. They are assuming the potential of the market is as big as alcohol usage. In this type of presentation, I don't really like to look at the size of the market. I'd rather always look at their sales if there are any. And they have sales. We can just take a step back and see that they have $160 million in sales in 2020. Now, the cannabis market is projected to grow at the compound annual growth rate of 32% until the year 2026. Weedmaps is growing 40%. I think we can assume they will keep their growth considering the market growth. And in their projection from 2020 to 2023, and I can rarely say that in this type of presentation, I think they are actually accurate with these numbers. Just a fun fact though, the cloud market, which is one of the hottest markets right now on the stock market, it is expected to grow only 17%. And cannabis market is more than twice that. So think about this potential. I wanted to have an idea about the valuation of the company, and since we don't have the proper comparison, this is what I did. I choose to compare this company with Etsy, Yelp, and TripAdvisor because they have most similar business model. They have some kind of a niche. So we have Weedmaps, Etsy, Yelp, TripAdvisor. This is how they make money: fee for profile and ads, or commission based. Well, their current valuation of Weedmaps is $1.5 billion. I mean, not current, this is what they will have after they will merge. And then we have Etsy, $21 billion, Yelp, $2 billion, TripAdvisor, $3.8 million. Now, the way we will compare them is that we will take their valuation and their revenue, and we will show the ratio of those numbers. So the lower the number, the better. So we can see that Weedmaps has 9.7 ratio valuation divided by revenues. Etsy has 26, Yelp has 2, and TripAdvisor has 2.5 ratio. So from this, we can easily see that Etsy is the most overvalued, which means that probably there is a biggest potential, and Weedmaps is somewhere between those two. I will come back to that, whether it is a good number or a bad number. Then we have valuation divided by EBITDA. ratio. We can see that Weedmaps has 93, which is relatively high. Then we have Etsy 153, then we have Yelp 24 and TripAdvisor 12. Now, these numbers, you cannot look at them just by themselves. You have to look at it as well, the growth of the company. And that will reveal us why Weedmaps is actually not a bad valuation based on all these numbers. So in the past years, Weedmaps was able to grow 40% every year, which means compounded annual growth rate. And Etsy was able to grow 32%. Yelp 17% and TripAdvisor 0%. Over the past 5 years, they're flat. So no one expects TripAdvisor to grow. Not that many people actually expect Yelp to grow that fast. Then we have Weedmaps and Etsy. They're in a growing market and they're also very dominant in their business model. So I think this actually makes sense. So compared to Etsy, Weedmaps actually comes better with the valuation. So if you look at the growth potential, Weedmaps actually has the best valuation based on the growth rate 40%. To summarize what you see, the current price is actually reasonable. Given the growth that they have, the stock will in 2 or 3 years outperform all these stocks which I am comparing them. And you want to stay one step ahead. So what is my one step ahead on this stock? We were talking about expected growth. However, if we will see some progress in legalization, this could improve the growth rate and put this stock to a hyper growth mode, possibly making it a 10x in few years. So it has a tremendous potential in case something positive will happen in politics. I think Weedmaps is just a better stock than Planet 13. There you have it. And then, I just keep looking at this graph where Planet 13 went up by 300% in the past 6 months. And I'm like, that is a hyper jump. Some of the EV companies do not rise like this year. Over the same period, Tesla did not grow so fast. And Tesla is pricing in the future of EV market. If I would hold this company and see it grow 300% and that company is not changing the world, I would take my profits and I would run. I seriously think that the only reason why Jeremy from Financial Education is not selling this stock and taking profits is because he doesn't want to look like a pump and dump. He has much more in stake. If you would let him choose Planet 13 or Tesla, of course he would choose Tesla and not Planet 13. So in my opinion, it's just crazy. But this is just all my opinion. For me, there is a new cannabis stock in town and it's going to be discovered soon. With that, follow me on Patreon, subscribe to the channel and see you guys next time.